was a hot mess. My phone was watching the live as I was recording, and we had to go with it, right? So hopefully somebody can share this link for me. The I'm frustrated because that other link was everywhere, and now there's, you know, a lot of misinformation, but hopefully some of you will be able to find this live. And then if you don't, you can just watch the replay. So I'm glad to be back. I haven't been doing lives lately because I just haven't been feeling well. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but we never know when the issue's going to pop back up. Hi, Carmen. Thanks for joining. Sorry again. That was a whole mess. I was hearing myself talk at the same time. Hey, Katie. Hey, Lynn. Katie, can you do me a favor and share the link for this live in my bead group, please? Because your posts go through without my approval. And I want everybody to have the new link. I'm so sorry about all that. Hey, Libby. Hey, Tina. Thanks, Katie. Hey, Graciela. Hey, Kelly. Hi, Christine. Hey, Lynn. Hi, Lori. So anyway, as evidenced by what's already happened, today's gonna be chaotic. I don't have a plan. Like, I have beads pulled out, but I 100% know I'm gonna be getting up. I'm gonna be walking around. I might take you places with me. Hey, Jody. So it's just like, it's already chaotic. Like, it's just how my life is. You can see there's junk everywhere. You actually can't see what a hot mess this place is at the moment. Hey, Tracy. So I want to show some stuff. Yeah, some stuff I released today in the bead shop. So at Turquoise Street Beads, I have new Zuni Bear bracelet bars. I haven't sold those in a while, and it's a citron color. I just kind of like randomly made one. I was like, oh, that's cute, so I stuck it in there. I stuck in some palm tree and shell things and some like little textured drops. So not a huge drop today, but cute stuff. I'm probably gonna make a bracelet with the bracelet bar so you can, you know, start seeing stuff. I put in a lot of carved African animals. They're all vintage, all like, you're gonna get the one that you buy unless it says otherwise in the listing. Hey, Cindy. Oh, thank you. She said, I love your necklace. So I've got two necklaces on. One I made for a crimped challenge. This one's got carved turquoise. I think it's Kingman, but I'm not 100%. And some, I think, Pakistani beads or coins, but I'm not really sure. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for sharing, Katie. And then this one I made, I think in one of the Valentine's Day videos, but this is turquoise. I think this is chrysocolla, but I have some of these for sale in the bead shop. So if you've been thinking about it, treat yourself. That's one of my favorite things to say. And then I've got some big honkin' mama rings on today. Thanks, Lori. I got both of these in Tucson. There is a pendant in the shop that looks like this. I haven't done anything with that pendant for myself because I have one in the shop and one for myself. I need to make myself a necklace with that. This one, I didn't buy one for the shop. Yeah, thanks, Leah. She said those rings are amazing. I was like, oh, let's just make it turquoise today, right? And then I have a matching bracelet for one of the necklaces, and then just a random like rainbowy clay bead bracelet. Hey, Nancy, glad you're here. Thanks, Jody. So thanks for sticking with me. Sorry it's already been chaotic hot mess. Of course, that's something I've never experienced before. I've been doing lives for years. Hi, Elsie. Glad you're here. And of course, we just go a little crazy. But I posted, well, I didn't post a picture. I mean, the thumbnail for this live was a bunch of stuff like that I have in the shop. So I've got a basket here of, doesn't that just look like fun? Like a huge basket. Oh, I missed a comment. Hold on one second. Yeah, you do have to have beautiful things for yourself, right, Nancy? So I'm gonna go through, my last tutorial the other day was men's bracelets, right? So I did 3 of them. This was the first one. This was the second one, and this was the third one. And yesterday I was just in a mood and I made 2 more of this style because this style is so much fun to make, but I made them a little bit more feminine. There's both of them I think a man could still wear, but I did them more for my gaze. So I did the turquoise metallic with the crystal quartz and the turquoise jasper. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I love this basket too, Jody. I think I got it in Tucson. I can't remember. Maybe I got it at a flea market. Who knows? So I made this one with a silver little tiara cast steer button. I think that's my last one. But isn't that so much fun? And then, because I know Cindy was like, oh, I don't usually watch men's bracelet videos, but I'm glad I watched it. And I was like, hey, I'm making them in other colors, so I'll send you a picture. I haven't sent you a picture yet, Cindy, because I haven't taken the pictures, but I will send you pictures. And then I did this one because, hello, of course, we do turquoise and terracotta, right? So I did an orange leather with a 1.5 millimeter. This is either 1 millimeter or 1.5 millimeter turquoise leather. And then I did the picture jasper, artisan jasper, one of the two, and then some large hole copper beads and another tiara cast button. So isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So, oh, thanks, Cindy. So I think we're gonna be doing some more macrame because I've been having a whole lot of fun with it. And I made an amethyst bracelet and I didn't bring it in here. Dang it. I did bring it in here. It's in here. It's in my basket. It's in my basket. I did not do this in that tutorial, but I just kind of made it yesterday because I was feeling like it. And yesterday's JTV bead break with Brittany, I did a rainbow agate bracelet using this pattern, but not large hole beads and not leather. So I might make this into a video later on. I've got a tiara cast button on this one. I've been using up my tiara cast buttons. And these are all large hole beads. These are from Beauty and the Bead Shop. They have that 30% off discount if on your first 2 orders, if you use discount 30. So that's where I got all these large hole beads, by the way. But isn't that a fun design? I haven't shown this on the channel yet, so if you want to see it, let me know. But it's so fun. I made it a little, like just a hair too big, but the thing is, when you have a big bracelet, just put a smaller one below it and it won't move around. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Lynn said that rainbow bracelet was really pretty. My dog is making a lot of mouth noises, and that drives me nuts. Ooh, Nancy said I just scored some Beadalon crimp beads at the thrift store. That's awesome. I love when you find stuff like that. I love that. Oh, thanks, Katie. Yeah, this is amethyst. I love this one. I'm not usually like an amethyst girly, but yesterday I was like, oh, purple leather, purple beads, gold. Oh, you're going to see my wild animal running back and forth back there. All right, so in my basket of goodies today, I picked out some chevron beads. Like I said, I don't know what we're going to make today. We're probably going to go over an hour because I'm already talking and it's like 1:15 already, my time. I got some chevron beads out. There are tons of chevron beads in the shop at Turquoise Street Beads. I got out some African Christmas beads, and I don't know why they're named African Christmas beads, but they're just seed beads that are randomly chosen. They're not like Christmassy, right? I put a ton of these in the shop. I got a great deal at Tucson on them, and we're going to be using these, I think, in a bracelet today. But I know a lot of you love African beads, and sometimes they can be expensive. These I put in for $5, and you get this whole long strand for $5. So you can get several projects out of it. I think we're going to do a 3 or 4 strand bracelet today with this. So, and you can pair those with whatever spacers, glass beads, any kind of beads that you have. Yeah, it is a really great deal. Yeah. Nancy says, I make my bracelets too big for me. I got to get a bracelet measure tool. I don't know what it is. Like, I've had these wrists for 40 years. They always change sizes though. So my bracelets are like running the gamut from 7 inches to 8.5. And then like, if it's too long, I just put a smaller bracelet underneath and then it doesn't go all the way down my forearm. I've got some other beads that are in my shop. This one I just haven't focused on or shared. So I think that's why sometimes when I don't share the items that are in the shop, they kind of just sit there even though they're really cool. And then the things that I focus on like fly off the shelf. So these are some not faceted glass beads that I got in Tucson. Obviously a very pretty color, my favorite color, aqua, with an iridescent finish on them. We're probably going to use these today. These are also in the shop, only a few strands. These are batik bone beads. Don't they look like little dominoes? They're little squares, and they're awesome. I love those. What else? What else? we have new beads in the shop today. So here is the new bracelet bar. So each one's gonna be a little bit different. And this is my new like hot color this year is citron. And I did a citron in black, and it's got like folk rainbows and leaves and feathers on it. And the pattern placement is always going to be different. So no two are going to be like, this is just a representation of what you're going to get. It is curved to fit your wrist. Okay. And it's got 2 holes. So you can use a jump ring, one right here and one right here. I do hesitate to crimp right onto these or wire wrap right onto these because bracelets move a lot, and you're going to get some, polymer clay is strong, but it can rip. So I would use jump rings on these. Isn't he so cute, Jody? Oh, I saw a long, hey, Michelle, glad you're here. Aw, Jody says I've been hoarding them. So Cindy said, you usually hold the bracelet around your wrist and it's close to being done. You can estimate whether I can add or more. I do that every time, Cindy, and then I still mess up the size. Every time. And then like necklaces are more forgiving, right? Like you can hang those, but bracelets are going up. Or then, God forbid, you make it too small, and then you got to add jump rings later. Here's the chandelier pair I made. So these have like a little star flower pattern on them. And typically I don't make chandeliers for the shop, but I was like, I think these would look really great with some tiny Java glass beads hanging below them or check glass beads. So I was like, oh, I'm going to make a set of chandeliers for the shop. I keep going back and forth and looking at the chat here. Aw, thanks, Katie. Yeah, you guys are saying you really love that citron. I love it too. Thanks, everybody. And then what else? I put in some palm trees. So isn't that fun? Like a turquoise palm tree, which this is a custom color. I custom mixed this turquoise with a white wash. So you get 2 of those. I put in a seashell, which is a little bit smaller, but still super fun. So we're thinking for summer, right? Beach babes, right? And I'm not going to drill holes in these, but if you have a pin drill, if you have a regular drill, you can drill holes in these. And I also put in these, and they're very skinny, right? But they're long. And they're fun. This one's a little wibbly wobbly. The pair that you get will not be wibbly wobbly, but it'll be straight like this one. I do a little bit better product control than I did for myself, but aren't these so fun? I think with check glass or pink or, you know, whatever, these are going to look really fun. I know a lot, I asked on so many places, what do you guys want to see today? And I think we're going to do a couple necklaces, might do a pair of earrings, might do a bracelet. Several of you wanted to see what I'm going to do with these, and I've been promising that I was going to do a necklace with these, so I think we'll try and make one with this today. Like I said, I'm probably going to be getting up and moving around the room today because it's a disaster and I don't know where anything is, but I also need to like go to the other side of the room to get gemstones and things like that. And then I also got out some of these carved animals. Like I said, I added a ton to the shop today. Some of them are in pairs, some of them are singles, some of them are actually pendants. And then, of course, I have these Zuni mandala bears in the shop. You get a pair. And I might make a pair of earrings with those today because I haven't had a chance to get to play with those. And then the rest of the junk in this thing, not really junk, it's all really fun beads, is stuff that I might get to play with. These crystals are in the shop. These are orange, super fiery, beautiful. You know, I love orange. And I think that's it for now. I mean, we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna be a chaotic little people today, and then we're gonna get to business. Okay. Tina says, does anybody have a wrist smaller than the other? I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. I don't really know what size this one is. All I do is wear my watch on it. Hi, Karen. All right, so we're gonna get started. What do you guys want to see? Put it in the Carmen says, yeah, maybe, yeah, Carmen and I think Tona both really wanted to see me use these. Hi, Gloria, glad you're here. So I don't want to delay that anymore. I think we're going to make a necklace with this. I want to wear the necklace. So I think that's really what's driving this. And we'll get started. Of course, that's not something for my shop, but who cares, right? We're gonna have fun. I have a whole bag of other things that are in my shop, so maybe if you have, like, vote if you have something from my shop that you want to see me use. I've got these lotus. I've got an evil eye heart today. Oh, Leah says she usually wears them on her bracelets on one wrist, but she switched them up and she realized it was a different size. I've got these terracotta stars. So I got a bunch of stuff. Let me know what you want to see. I know you're probably sick of hearing me talk at this point, or seeing me talk. You probably don't care if you hear me talk if I'm making jewelry, right? All right, so I'm going to try and get you down to the mat. You're gonna see my ceiling for a minute. Let me get you down there. Oh, switch around the camera. There we go. Leah said, I'd love to see something in the citron color. Well, good, because we're gonna be making, why is this blurry? Oh boy. We're going to be making that bracelet with the Zuni bear. All right, well, it's not the best. It's kind of blurry, but we'll do the best we can. I have a little bowl of goodies over here. And the minute I saw this pendant, which I don't have it in my shop, but I got it from India. So I, you know, with the way things are right now with tariffs, I'm not going to be ordering things from overseas until it calms down. But when I can, I will put some of these in my shop. But the minute I saw this, I was like, I want a big crystal quartz for the middle, and I want to use it with these. And I got this crystal quartz, like, the second after I said that, I opened a Sam's Bead box, and that was in there. And I was like, OMG, that is perfect. So I'm going to go behind myself here and get some copper wire out of my bookcase. Oh my gosh. If I can. Not copper, brass. We want brass. Okay, that's not going. I have this. Everybody's saying they have different size wrists, so that's good to know. I don't like that color. That's bronze, not brass. I was looking for like actual brass, but this is gold. Oh boy. Let me see. I don't know if I have. I think I do. I just can't get in it because there's something. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're just gonna figure it out. I could possibly also, how do I want to do this? I was thinking about wire wrapping it on here. Let's see. Nobody's going to notice if this is just slightly different color. So I'm going to cut off a piece and we'll see. We're just going to kind of figure this out together, guys. Can't learn something until you've done it once or twice, right? All right, so let me get my round nose pliers. This guy out of the way. And I'm gonna wire wrap him on. Sorry, we're gonna be figuring this out together. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle's like, I've been waiting for this. All right, so I'm gonna try, guys. Like, I have zero idea how this is gonna work, so we might have to do this for like the next 10 minutes just to figure it out. I can wire wrap that around there, put on my bead, and then wire wrap it around here. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like how it's moving around, and I don't like... All right, so wire wrapping's out. Oh, Nancy, I totally understand. It's so rough right now, especially for small businesses. Thankfully, I stocked up when I was in Tucson, so none of the items in my shop are subject to any of the tariff information right now, so I haven't raised any prices, and I still have stuff that I need to list from Tucson. Later in the year, who knows, right? So unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball. Well, actually, I do have a crystal ball right here, but not one that tells the future, right? So we'll see how things go. Okay. What I'm thinking, what if I do like little seed beads? Hold on, let me see if I can find my little brass seed beads. I put them somewhere, and I think, oh, are they across the room? Did I move them? I moved them, and now I don't know where they are. Like, this is the problem. My bead room has been so terrible lately that I can't, like, I know where things are, but I can't find them. Let me see. What about these? What about... Okay, let me find a wire. Like a beading wire, not like a bead stringing wire, not... I told you this was going to be chaotic. I just had my bead-along bead stringing wire somewhere, and now she's gone forever. All right, we'll use this. I'm going to cut off a piece, and I'm going to find a jump ring. Just a tiny one. Not a jump ring, a crimp bead. Cindy said maybe put the bead on a piece of craft wire with simple loops. Yeah, but I don't think I want the wire look now. Oh, Karen, I'm so sorry to hear that. Kelly said straight across with seed beads either way would be really cute. Yeah, I think what I'm thinking, like, it hasn't come out of my mouth, but my brain has tried to come up with a solution. So let's see. I'm gonna put on some seed beads here. Just a few. I think I'm gonna make some loops for this pendant to hang on some wire. But I also don't know that it's gonna work out the way I want. So let's move that guy. Put on my crimp in just a second. And then we'll put on I think I wanted like 2 more seed beads. So I'm essentially just making some bails for this. I could use jump rings. That would be cool too, but I think I wanted something that was a little bit more pretty than just a jump ring. All right. Oh yeah, I like that. Ugh, and I'm sorry that it's so blurry. I don't know how to fix that. I'm just trying to keep the camera as far away from it as possible. All right, I'm gonna take my crimping pliers, and I'm not gonna fold it. I'm just gonna flat crimp it. And then we'll just be able to slip that on to our pendant, or our however we string, and then I can just slip this on in the middle too. So it'll sit up a little bit higher, but I don't mind that. I actually quite like it. So I'm gonna cut off my ends, and then we just do the same thing on the other side. And then I have to count how many seed beads I use. Yeah, I'm noticing that too, Cindy. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9. Let's get another piece of wire. I'll try and bring this up a little bit more. There we go. Just because it's just so frustrating getting that blurry when it's so close. And put on 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we'll slip that through. And put on our crimp. Ah! And then pull. These are so cute. It's so funny because usually when I say something's cute and I'm not talking to Goldie, she like perks her head up because that's all I say to her is that she's cute. So if I'm talking to my plants or talking to beads or something, she gets jealous if I call it cute. All right. All right. Hey Nikki, glad you're here. I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing well too. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. So okay, we have our 2 little bales. Those are perfect. They're actually really close to the color of the bead itself, so I'm super happy with that, or the pendant. We have this, and then we have our French frost or whatever kind of beads these are. And I want to look in my stash and see if I have anything to like boost up the presence of these. I don't really like these for this. No, don't like that. I want some like round beads, but I'm gonna have to get up and get my African lost wax beads because those are all in a different part of the room. I also have these really big ones, but I think that's gonna take away from these. Actually, these might work, and I love, like, look how rustic those are. I don't even know where those came from. But as we're looking at it, they're not the same tone. This is like really bright brass, and this is like aged, right? So I think I want something that's a little closer in tone. That's some of my favorite spacers here. These are almost sold out. The copper and one of the other ones sold out really fast. And I have some black still. Nikki says, what are you making? I'm late. We're making chaos. We're being chaotic today. I'm making a necklace right now. I'm going to make a bracelet, and then maybe some earrings, featuring some of the stuff from my shop. But basically being like a little gremlin today and being chaotic. Ooh, those are fun. They're little charms. I wonder if, ooh, no. Oh, these are kind of cool. They're like little daggers. Sorry guys, like I said, I don't have anything planned. So we're just kind of going with the flow. I need to find some brass beads though. Those are okay. Those are more like shield-like or knife-like. Let's see about these hanging out. I think these are going to get lost because they're so teeny tiny. I have a bunch of these. There's more in my drawer here. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a bracelet with these. I think the necklace is just going to have that and then some. I wish I had some brass bicones. Do I have brass bicones? Ooh. I don't have brass bicones, but these are kind of like suns. Maybe we'll get some of those in there. Brass bicones. Well, I do have these older coin metal beads. Actually, that's gonna work because I made a bracelet that's similar to these beads, using some of these bicone beads. And I know they're beat up, and I know that the pendant isn't, but That's okay. That's okay. Okay, now what are we gonna string on? What are we gonna string on, guys? Do we want to string on bead stringing wire? I don't really want to do leather. I think we'll do bead stringing wire. I have some soft flex. I have antique brass soft flex here. So I'm going to use this antique brass soft flex. And then everybody just like was chatting so much and now you're silent. I want to hear what you guys have to say too. I know I'm talking too much. Okay, so I'm going to open this guy up. Doesn't it hurt you when you buy a strand of beads like that's this pretty and then you're like, oh, I got to open it and use it? Bead collecting and making jewelry are two separate hobbies. I promise you. All right. So what I'm going to do here, because we're going to have a gap. Gloria. Yes, I do. I talk too much. All right. So we're going to have a gap here. And then we're going to, so I need to find like maybe a seed bead through there, but like a color. I'm looking in my seed bead drawer right next to me. Sure you can hear it. Of course, like all the seed beads that I have here are not the color that I want. Maybe, let's see. Is there anything on here that I love? That's too bright. No. I don't know. Do I just use the same copper? Or why do I keep saying copper? I mean brass. Lynn says I always buy more than one. Lori says I got some African glass beads from me, a couple of strands. They are gorgeous, but not sure what to do with them. Yeah, you can do something like this. I like putting them on leather. It's just whatever kind of floats your boat at the moment. I know it can be intimidating using a bead that you haven't used before though. All right, I'm gonna try putting on like 3 of these. This might be too many, but you kind of have to just experiment until it goes the way you want it to go. Yep, Nancy, now you have like 100 million shades of turquoise and none of them match ever. All right. Oh, I don't mind that. I think that looks good. I don't mind that at all. Okay, so then, like, it's going to be a little funky because we don't have beads on either side yet, but I love that. And then I'm going to go into, I really want this one at the front. I love that blue. It's so bright. And then I want to decide, am I going to put on bead caps? These are kind of big. I don't know where my other brass bead caps are. Yeah, those are too big. And are they behind me? No, they're right here. Let's see if these work. I love these things. I love just outlining the beads with these because it just adds more metal into your project. Come on. Oh yeah. Like nobody's gonna even notice that except for me or the other jewelry makers, but it gives you such a finished look. Okay, I think that's too, is it too, no, it's not too close. And then I think I'm gonna open this. I don't know where my open strand is, but I'm gonna open this one. I have beads. Okay, so Lynn was talking about how she buys 2 strands of everything. These were pretty expensive, so I didn't want to buy 2 strands, but I bought some knockoff ones that were from India and not wherever these are made, and they're less they're not less beautiful. They're just less, I don't know, they're just made differently. But I made 2 bracelets out of those because I knew I was gonna eventually make this necklace. And we might take a field trip to show you how I've been storing my bracelets because I finally got them set up in my bedroom or my closet. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of go in whatever order I want. And I don't really mind the 2 blues next to each other, but I don't love it. So I am going to move the blue somewhere else. And maybe I'll do 3 of these beads and then one of these big honkin' coin metal beads. Like I said, you can do whatever pattern. You don't have to stick with the pattern that's, I mean, it's super easy to just stick with the color pattern that's on the strand, and that's beautiful too, but I'm gonna go the way I wanna go. All right. And these are hollows, so sometimes it could be a second before you get the stringy material to go through correctly. Thanks, Lori. It's not even close to being done, but I appreciate you saying that. I love how these look. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another 3 beads. So I'll do my little blue one. And I am not going to do the same color on the other side of the necklace. So I'm not gonna mirror it. It's gonna be asymmetrical. Even though like the bead placement will probably be symmetrical, the colors won't be. These beads are so pretty. I'm like obsessed with them. Okay, go here. And then what color next? Ooh, the pink's like, I like the pink. And then we'll just do that green and the orange next after we do another brass bead. I need to figure out where I got these so I can get more because I love using them all the time. Maybe Bead Chest, I think is where they came from, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I always say that too. I need to kind of do some research on that. All right. Oh boy, when it's hollow like that, it just gets so frustrating sometimes. Okay. All right, and then we'll go, what, green and orange, and then brown. And I'm going to save, like, it would be really pretty if we did these beads all the way around the whole entire necklace, but I want to use these beads on other projects, and it's going to be, like, it's just silly to use a whole strand of these when a lot of it's going to be behind my hair, right? So that's how I save money is by putting cheaper beads on the back. Now, if you're selling a statement piece, don't do that if you want to get the money for a statement piece. But if I'm making a piece for me, I don't care. Thanks, Carmen. And then somebody just asked me where I got the ring. So both of these rings came from Tucson. I buy stuff like that when I'm in Tucson. I just sold a ring that was similar to this one, but not the same, in my bead shop. There might be a ring or 2 still in there, but I don't think there are any turquoise ones in there at the moment. There are turquoise pendants, though. There's a turquoise pendant that looks just like this one. All right, we'll do brown next. Oi! There we go. Kendra. Thanks for joining. All right, so I'm gonna put a bead stopper on this side because I just don't know how long I want this side to be yet. And we're gonna start stringing on the other side. Yeah, Terry, Terry K, I had a problem. Like, it was chaotic at the beginning, and I already knew this was gonna be a chaotic live, so just par for the course. All right, so I'm gonna cut this off my spool. I don't know what's going on with my cutters lately. Frustrating me. All right, and then I need to pick a color to go down here. Maybe we'll do red. Do we red? Do we want to do? What do we want to do? I haven't done red yet, so I guess. But I don't really want like red, white, and blue at the front. Does that make sense? Like, we'll do. Nope. Nope. We're gonna figure this one out. Do you want green? No. Orange? Maybe. That's a strong maybe. Pink is a strong maybe. Not white. Maybe blue. All right, so I'm gonna go with pink. And then maybe red right next to the pink. We'll see. I love red next to pink. And if I wanted a patriotic necklace, I would have done red right there, but I don't particularly want a patriotic necklace, or this one to be patriotic, that's what I should say. Yeah, red next to that one. Do black here, because I haven't gotten the black in there yet. Oh, thanks, Christine. Oh. Yes, I love this. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to put on one of my big brass beads next. Come on, we can do this. I'm trying to like look through the bead and try and guide it, but half the time it doesn't work. Okay, there we go. And then I think I'm gonna put the orange on because I really like that orange. Up. And then let's see. Do I want to do yellow? Do I want to do blue? No, I don't want to do blue. Do I want to do white? The white would be, do you see, like, I don't really want those. I do not, I'll see, I did a haul from Bead World Seattle with these beads several months ago. I wish I had these in my shop. Terry K, it comes and goes. I have flare-ups, so I'm feeling okay at the moment. Issues are not solved. So, but I'll take what I can get, right? All right. I think we're gonna go with this green. And then a yellow. Like, I know it looks random, but it takes a lot of planning for things to look random. All right, and then we'll do our last brass. And then we'll do, oh, I did that without my spacer, so now I gotta do it again. All right. Let's try one more time. Ah, there we go. And then next, I think we're gonna do, is this a different blue? No. We're gonna do white. Blue. Nope, forgot our bead cap. I got it from Etsy from some shop in India. And I don't know their name, but I won't, like I said, I won't be importing anything for any time soon because I don't want to pay double the price just to get a pendant. All right, and then last color, this chartreusey lime green. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Angel. Okay, so here we go. I love her. It's so much, it's like exactly what I wanted, but better. Don't you love when that happens? Like, it's exactly what you want, but it turns out even better than you imagined. She's so pretty. Okay, so I just got to figure out beads for the back, and maybe I'll just do brass beads. I'll just do brass beads, I think. Aw, Christine said I watched a bunch of videos from 4 years ago, and I was making a bunch of, I need to go back and watch some of those. Maybe just remake some of them. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I don't know if I say this every time Sherry shows up, but I love me some Sherry. I've known her, Sherry, I've known you 40 years at this point because she was my parents' neighbor when I was born. They were always friends throughout the years, and Sherry's always been there. All right. And I just love that Sherry makes jewelry too. That makes me so happy. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bunch of these on, and I'm going to separate them with smaller spacers in the back. And it's actually going to add weight, but I really, really, really like the way these brass beads look because these are solid brass. They're not hollow brass. But I like how shiny they are. Not that anybody's going to see them, but I'll know they're there. Lauren asked, where can you find these bead caps? I think I got them from the bead chest, but I honestly don't know. I think they have some version of them. I think there might be another strand of these spacer beads in my shop, but I'm not 100% sure how many are left. Okay. Aw, Lynn. Aw, yeah, I miss Wendy. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go one more. And then I'm gonna put the same amount on the other side and then measure on me and see if it's the length I want. And I can always just, you know, make it shorter, or I mean longer with the extender, but we'll see how long it is. Yeah, Tracy, I was really worried it was MS, but so far I had an MRI. It was not MS that they can see, thankfully, but I've been going through a lot of the same symptoms. So we were really, really scared. I'm sorry you have to go through that. So we're still trying to figure out what that was. Oh, Fran says Bead Chest calls them crisp beads. Make sure the ones you get, because they have some that are just flat, make sure the ones you get are cupped like this. These, Christine, are these the ones you're saying you couldn't find in the shop? They might have sold out. I have my notifications off. Earlier today, I know there was at least one strand left. I bought like 18 of them and they all sold pretty fast. I'll have to see if I can get some more. Because I honestly, I use them. I use the heck out of them. I use them all the time. And you guys see them in my videos. And I know, I don't know about you, but when I'm watching somebody make something, I'm like, oh, where'd they get that? I want it. So, that's why I try and tell you guys where I get everything as much as possible, right? Oh, also, why am I not using one of my cute little bead dishes? So the funny thing is, guys, I have these in my shop and I keep the ones that I don't get made correctly. So now I have like 3 or 4 of them hanging out. But these are little polymer clay dishes that I have in the bead shop. I love them so much. But like this one was like too stretched out. So I just like, okay, I'll keep it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aw, Cindy, that's so sweet. She says the prettiest bead dish she has. I'm so glad you like it. And if they sold out, let me know so I can put more in because I think there were only 3 and somebody bought one earlier today. All right, this is like my new favorite, for sure, my new favorite necklace. You guys are gonna see me. You're gonna be sick of seeing me in this necklace. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of take it and try it on real quick. Francis, I got 2. I love them. Oh, good. I'm so glad you enjoy them. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to make this pretty short because I do wear some short necklaces these days, but I'm going to put an extender on it because I want to wear it a little bit longer too. So I'm thinking, I'm just thinking what, I need a clasp. I kind of want a wire guard. So I gotta find that. There we go. Do I want an antique brass wire guard? No, I want a gold wire guard. Okay. Okay. And then we need some jump rings. All right. I hope some of you can last longer than an hour because I don't have a time limit today. And I really, really, really want to make this bracelet with those Christmas beads. Okay, so I need another jump. Okay, I got 2 jump rings out. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I need a spacer on the end of this one. I'm going to put on a crimp. Just had these are soft flex crimps. Aw, thanks, Leah. So I actually want to make 2 bracelets. I want to make one with that bear, and I want to make one with the Christmas beads. I don't know if they'll be the same one. Aw, thanks, Angel. Put on my crimp. I'm going to come through. I don't even need my jump ring at the moment. I'm just going to come through my wire guard. Carmen, you're so sweet. You did wait patiently, but you kept reminding me, which is totally fine because I am the type of person who needs to be reminded a lot because there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. All right, so I'm going to put that back through, and I could just add on my jump ring in a minute once I've crimped this. Oh, good, Kelly. I'm glad you guys like long live streams. I rarely watch them because I have 0 attention span, so I'm glad that you guys like them. sorry, it was just too short. I'm gonna try that again. And then we're gonna come down. There we go. There we go. Okay. You can see why I don't use these very often. They're very fiddly, but they do look good. And I want this necklace to be awesome. Okay, 1, 2, 3, squish. And turn. And we're going to squish. Squish one more time. I'm going to hide that in a couple of these beads. All right, and then I'm going to snip. All right, half finished with the crimping. We'll move everything down, make sure there aren't any noticeable gaps. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Crimp. Where's that wire guard? Wire guard. Is he squished? I think my wire guard's a little squished. Or it could be my wire's messed up. I think it was a combo of both. Yeah, this, oh, yeah, this wire guard's no bueno. Let me find more wire guards. Where did I put them? Hi, Sherry. We've got 2 Sherrys today. Oh, Lynn, don't tell me about what business taxes. I gotta do mine, and I don't even want to think about it. Makes me want to cry. I'm not a math girly. I mean, I can do it, but it is not something that I enjoy. That is for sure. All right, so I'm gonna come back down through my crimp. Aw, thanks, Cindy. I miss you too. We need to hang out soon. You should go back and watch that, the replay of yesterday's JTV Live, though, because I made a really cool bracelet, and it's just so sweet. And actually, I was wearing it after the live yesterday. I was like, this is too cute. I'm not taking it off. Did I do anything yesterday after the live? No. I sat on my couch wearing my cute little bracelet. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that we have enough room here. Ugh, this is a little frustrating. I just want to eliminate as many gaps as I can. And with, it's just a little different with the crimp, the wire guards. They're just a little bit different, right, than normally I am used to. Okay, so squish, turn, squish again. One more time. Okay, and then we still have a freaking gap the size of the Grand Canyon. Okay, if that really bothers me, that little centimeter gap there, I'll put on a crimp cover later. Oh my god, this is so pretty, and I'm so happy I made it because I've been wanting to make this for months. Like, I mean, the idea came together like immediately when I saw it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay. And then we'll just put on our clasp. Thanks, Tina. Make sure that clasp works. And this is the right side. Thanks, Libby. You guys are so sweet. All right, and then one more, and then I think I'll find some chain, gold color or brass color, whichever, and put it on the back as an extender because this one has to be able to morph into what I need at any point. Hey, look what's right next to me in a little plastic baggie. This isn't the right color. Let me see if I can find some brass chain. Antique. There's a lot going on, guys. Let's see. Here we go. This is like some kind of bracelet, I think. But who cares? I'm just gonna find these cutters because I don't know what this metal is made out of, and I don't want to mess up my good cutters, so I'm using my tungsten cutters. I also don't really need to cut this, but okay, this is very strong chain. Let's see if we can open it up instead of cutting. Thank God I didn't try and cut this with my cutters. I would have cried, probably. There we go. Okay. There we are. Now, something I didn't think about. Is this going to go around here? Yes. I love her. She's so pretty. Oh my goodness. And then I still have all these beads left. I mean, I still have like a half a I could make another necklace. Oh, I can make another necklace. I'm not going to do it right now, guys. I have bracelets that are similar to this, so I'm not going to make a bracelet at the moment because I really want to make something with the citron bear, and I really want to make something with the Christmas beads. So we might have a follow-up to this later. We might not. Maybe several years from now. Who knows? Okay, so I think we're going to do the Christmas bead. Thanks, everybody. You guys are so sweet. Christmas bead bracelet. I have this 1mm pleather roll. Had for years and years. I'm so glad you guys like it. And then we're just gonna do a 4-strand bracelet. I'm gonna find a button. Let's see. What I wanna do. Huh? Yep. I also have these black spacers. These are absolutely in my shop because I know I didn't sell all of them. But they're like the brass. They are brass. They're just black colored brass. So we're gonna use those. These. What else? What else? I don't think I need anything. Oh, maybe these. No. What else? I don't think we need crystals in this, do we? No. I think I just want to stick with the brass beads and the Christmas beads. All right, so I'm going to do 2 lengths of my pleather, probably a yard each. And I have a very scientific way, and I'm being facetious, of measuring, which is just measuring the length of my arm from my shoulder on the other side. And then I'm just going to cut 2 pieces of that. I think I'm going to end up with too much, but story of my life, right? Okay, and then I'm going to come through my button with both pieces. I'm going to move that button down to the middle. So we're going to have 4 strands here. You can do 3 strands, you can do 2 strands, you can do 8 strands, just as long as it fits through your button. Okay. It's going to be very colorful. You can choose, you know, matching leather. I'm just doing black because I really wanted it to kind of match the black brass. And then I'm going to do an overhand knot here. With all 4 strands. And then if you're making an order, and you're like, oh man, I missed that. I want to put it, I want to buy it. As long as you check out before I ship your items with your second order, I will combine shipping and I'll refund your second order shipping, or however much is excess, I should say. So let's say you already checked out and you're like, oh, I didn't see those black brass beads and you want them. Don't worry, I'll refund your shipping. You can do a barrel knot here. We all know that's not my strong point, so I'm not doing a barrel knot. And then now I have 4 strands. I'm going to open up both of these. Also, I forgot to mention, we're almost at 25,000 subscribers. So I've mentioned this before. My big goal, I really, really want to get to 100 because I really want one of those YouTube play buttons, which is just so ridiculous reason to want to have 100,000 people subscribed. But like, I'll be honest, that's what I want. And we're almost at 25,000. I can't believe it. So we're going to have like the biggest of big celebrations when we hit 25,000. Like, I'm talking about giveaways, I'm talking about lives. So, and it's going to happen like probably within the next couple weeks, if not sooner. So if you aren't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please, please, please. I would really appreciate it. Aw, thanks, Joanne. I appreciate everybody who watches, comments, even if you don't comment. I appreciate you so much anyway, because I'm that way. I watch so many YouTube people and they don't know I exist, right? Because I don't comment. But for those of you who watch and don't comment, I still love you. I appreciate everything. And then for those of you who, you know, follow me everywhere and, you know, shop in the shop, it really helps. It really helps me, and not just stay alive, but also with mental health too, and all that stuff. So we're going to have a big, big, big celebration with 25,000 subscribers. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I mean, I'm going to have to wait, but it's going to be very, very soon. All right. So we've got 1 strand of these Christmas beads. There's a lot of yellow on here, which is fine. And then I have my black beads. So I'm just going to start loading on in an order that I love. And I have 2 other strands of these Christmas beads. Do I want to incorporate anything else? Do I want to use some? I also have my chevron beads out. I think I'm going to open up these other Christmas beads too. Sorry, we're getting a little chaotic. I should have named this chaos beading. Oh, that'll be the name of the next one, guys. I'm gonna open up these other 2 just so I have a lot of beads to choose from. And there's a ton of these. I think there's like 50 plus of these in my shop because I got a really good deal on them, and so I was able to price them pretty well. I know like these sell for like 10 bucks at the bead store around me, but I put them in my shop for $5. Okay, $5. Get a strand of African beads for $5. All right. So I'm going to do, obviously we're going to be using a lot of yellow on this, but I actually want to do 1 or 2 strands of not yellow. That's why I got 3 of these Christmas bead strands open. And then I'll just put these in a jar because they're fun to look at. And I can just slip them in as spacers later on in other projects. Okay, here's my bracelet. My leather right now, pleather. Okay, am I missing comments? Oh, thanks, Cindy. Okay, so we'll do a random one, but I also want to do one that has like a lot of blues, and I covered up my black beads there. So we'll just start piling on the blue and white ones. Chaotic bead creations. Yeah, that's definitely me, Carmen. And I think I'm just going to I'm not like, I don't care. Like, this is going to turn out however she wants to turn out. I'm not going to dictate. I'm not going to tell her who she needs to be, right? We're just going to do it. Oh no, did these not fit on my 1mm leather? Sometimes beads tell you what they want. Okay, well, we're not going to use the black spacers today. I guess we're going to figure something else out. I might have black seed beads. Hold on. thinking. These black check or Miyuki or whatever they are, these will be fine. Theirs is just going to be like to break up colors, right? Not really a design element, but in place of what I was going to do with those black seed or the black spacers, which I'm annoyed. Yeah, it is a party, Lisa. Lisa said it's a party on your table because of all the colors. I absolutely agree. This is the kind of party you guys need to invite me to. Libby says, I like your chaos. Thank you. It's 100% of the time, though. That's the problem. I'm putting on like 4 beads and then a black bead. And it's not like the black bead is really doing that much, but it'll provide some consistency through a bracelet that's nuts with all different colors. And then this is what it looks like so far. Not much, right? But once we get 4, like if we did an all blue one, that would be cool. But I don't know that that's what I'm going for today. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm doing mostly blue on here, but I'm going to slip one red one in because that's going to be fun. Is that 4? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Gloria. All right, and then I'm going to move those down. I don't think that's long enough yet, but just kind of keep going. And then I'll get a bead stopper because I don't want my beads falling off. I'll put this white one on. All right, so I'm going to put a bead stopper on this one. I don't know that it's long enough yet, but I don't want to put too many on and then just have to take them off in a little bit. If your bead stopper doesn't work, you could tie a little knot at the end. I'm just going to tie a little knot because obviously my bead stoppers are more for leather and like not leather items. All right, next one, I don't care. I'm just going to do 4 beads at a time. I'm like randomly grabbing beads. Okay. And then I'll put a black bead between every 4. I love that one. It's got like orange red on it. Yeah, Lynn said I started using bead stoppers because I dropped too many things. Yep, exactly. I know myself, and I, for a long time, was like, oh, I'm better than dropping beads. No, I'm not. I am not better than dropping beads on the floor because it happens every time if I don't use a bead stopper. I had to talk myself out of that. I'm a walking mess. That's cool. Oops, I missed. It was Tina. She said, I made one of the men's bracelet you made yesterday, but with wooden beads and used an iguana eye button type for the class bought from me. Nile, that is cool. Hopefully you can post a picture of it in my bead group because I would love to see that. So you guys see how I'm grabbing these beads. I literally don't care which ones I'm grabbing, even ones that are the same. I'm putting those on. Is the bracelet you're wearing a wrap bracelet? No, I have two different stretchy bracelets on. So this one is just, and I don't think I made a video for this, but this was in that 100-day bracelet challenge that I never finished. I think I ended up on like day 60 and I was like, nope, not doing this anymore. And then this one matches one of the necklaces I'm wearing. It's just a stretch bracelet though with Ethiopian prayer beads, silver prayer beads, and some carved Kingman turquoise. What are the, oh, these, are you talking about these? Sherry? If you're talking about these, those are chevron beads that are in my bead shop. I don't know if I have that color still, but you can search chevron beads in my bead shop at Turquoise Street Beads. I have tons of chevron beads. And I think they range from $6 to $8 a strand. You're welcome. Okay, let's see how long that one is versus the other strand. And I think this bracelet style would be perfect for these chevron beads. You could space them, but it's perfect style for more colorful beads to get a lot of color on your wrist. All right, we could do one more strand, one more stretch of these. Yeah. All right, and then I'm going to tie a little knot just to get it to stay in place while we're stringing the other two strands. See how that's shaping up so far? Like, even though this is all blue, you can't really, your brain's not going to really register that. I just wanted to break up because I know there's so much yellow in these, and I didn't want like a particularly all yellow bracelet. So what I'm going to do on this strand is going to be similar to this one, but I'm not just going to do, I'm not going to do just blue. I'm going to do anything that's not yellow. And then my fourth strand will be just like this one. So this one I'm going to do any one that's not yellow. Oh, I just saw a comment. Let's see. Nancy, I so need to organize my findings. Trying to find gold clasps. Girl. Mine are all in drawers. So gold has a drawer, copper, like everything, every color, metal color has a drawer. However, the contents of each drawer is a hot mess. So I need to reorganize. So like I said, I'm grabbing any color that doesn't have yellow on it for this strand. And I'm making this up as I go, guys. Oh, that one has yellow, but it's more green. I'm not gonna cheat. Okay, we'll do red. Two. See, and that's okay if you have two that are exactly the same next to each other. It doesn't matter to me. 3, 4. And Nancy said, everything's everywhere here. I get that, girl. Everything's on the floor here. If I showed you all what's going on, you might call some kind of health agency because my bead floor, my bead room, and my clay room are nightmares. Thankfully, I'm not such a hot mess in the rest of my house and it's pretty clean. But yeah, your girl's bead room is a mess. And part of that is I never did my hauls from Tucson because I was so sick. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. I'll film those. And I never filmed them. So there's all the beads are still sitting on the floor in my bead room. Not the ones that are really going into my bead shop because I don't feel like I need to do hauls on those. But like my personal beads, I bought a lot of beads just for myself, you know? So they're coming. And I had a couple of interviews to put on the page. It's been a wild ride. 2025 has been a wild ride for many people so far. I just want a red one here. Okay, let's see. How long is this compared to the other ones? Nope, still need more. I think this one would be really fun with 4 strands or just 2 strands of just those beads. Two, three, four. Yeah, that's how I am, Lynn. I pull stuff, so much stuff out, and I don't put it away because I have more things to do. They're more fun than cleaning up beads. Then I'm like, oh, I am 100% the person who creates all these problems, but I need somebody who can fix them for me. I can't fix them. I need an assistant who can fix all the bead problems. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking to see how long. Oh, one of these got super long. How did that happen? That one got super long. Let's see where we're going here with the length. Oh, it's not too long. Okay. Which one doesn't have what's not? This one. All right, and then the blank one, the last blank one. Yeah, Tina, we still do crimped. We actually the season 2 episode 5 is going live tonight on the beach on the crimped page. I just haven't put them on the channel. I have like episodes from last year that still need to go up on the channel today, or you know, but we release everything in the on the page, which is Crimped Jewelry Series on Facebook. Where did I put the seed beads? Here they are. And then like I said, this one I'm just putting whatever colors I grab again. Yeah, me too, Tina. All right. It's kind of relaxing just grabbing beads and not caring which ones you're grabbing. And these are all going to look good. Now think about what you have too. If you're just grabbing a few strands of the Christmas beads, do you have Crobo beads? Because you could just put in a Crobo bead here and there. And Crobo beads are the larger, more patterned African glass beads. There are regular recycled glass beads that are just round. Crobos have usually hand-painted designs on them. Oh my goodness. Okay. My fingers did not like that, that bead. Thanks, Mary. The funny thing, Mary, there is a good selection in there. There's a lot more in waiting to be loaded onto the site. And part of that is because I bought a bunch to make kits, because not everybody wants a full strand. Again, I just haven't had the strength to do those, but there's tons, which is fun because that means we're going to have some fun releases throughout the rest of the year, right? Like I didn't just get rid of everything at the beginning of the year, right after Tucson. I also have some really fun gemstones that are going to be going in, some great check glass beads, and then I'm trying to design more and more projects with my artisan beads and whatever beads I offer in the shop. So we'll see cross pollination, I guess, with a lot of the beads and what I make later in the year. Okay. I'm not on Etsy, Nikki. I used to sell on Etsy, but I have my own website, which is a Shopify site. Gosh, I did it again with this one. And it's working out well. I do shop on Etsy because I love supporting people who have shops on Etsy, but I did not like the seller experience. I've sold on there for several years full time, and then they just kept making changes that weren't seller friendly. So I don't work, I just don't support selling on Etsy. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my ruler. Maybe not, because I don't know where it is. All right, I have a different ruler. Do you ever get Kazuri beads for your site? No. I didn't know that they were regulated, but they're expensive, right? So I don't even have Kazuri beads for myself, but I would love some. Okay, I need to add a lot of beads to this strand, this strand, and this strand. This one's doing okay so far, so I'm just gonna do a temporary knot in this one and slide it to the side. We'll unknot this one. Lynn says my Etsy shop's doing well right now after figuring what to do and what not to do. Yeah, it is. It's like a full-time job. You have to figure out what works, right? Good for you. That makes me so happy to hear, Lynn. All right, this strand had anything but yellow on it. All right, and I think we just need like a couple more. And then we'll move on to the next one. I'm just gonna slightly tie a knot here. You can use tape, you can use a binder clip, whatever works for you. And then we'll unknot this one. And this one was anything, because I had a bunch of yellow on this one. Okay, let's see how that works. Nope, we need a couple more. Oh, Nikki used to have a shop on Instagram. Yeah, I've never done that. That sounds interesting. All right, and we have one last one that we need to make a little bit longer. I do have to tell you, this is like the easiest leather bracelet on the planet. It's just so easy. There's really not much to it. Okay, and then this was my blue one. So anything with blue on it. All right, let's see if that's long enough. I don't think so. Nope. Okay, let's see if that's long enough. Yeah, everybody put in your link in the chat so people can see what you're selling and where to get it. All right, so let's move everything down. We're pretty close. We're pretty close. This is really cool. I'm going to take out all my temporary knots. And then before I knot this all together, because I'm just going to put a knot like right here, I just want to check to see how long this is on my wrist, because it's probably a little too short. No, we're good. We're good. It's probably too long, but I'm not doing anything to it. All right, so I'm pushing back all of these beads. Okay, so they're all up against this end. And then I'm going to take my 4 strands and put in another overhand knot. Again, you can do barrel knot. You can even macrame this if you want. But I'm not trying to make it harder on myself. Then I'm going to walk that knot down to my 4 strands and tighten. And I'm just going to pull each one of these to make sure it's tight. Okay. So we have 4 strands here. One's a little bit longer than the others, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to do another knot at the end. And I will, before I tighten this, I'm going to check to see if my button will come through. So I'll separate 2 and 2. And then put my button through, and that's totally going to work. And then we'll tighten. Pull. And then I'll just put a seed bead and a Christmas bead on the end of each one of these strings, or seed bead, Christmas bead, seed bead. And I don't care which ones I'm choosing. And then I'll do a little knot. This is pleather, so I can melt this with a lighter to keep it from fraying. You can use glue, whatever you want to do. Okay. Aw, thanks, Sherry. All right. Oh, I love that for you, Michelle. That's so awesome. Thanks. I think, is that Rebecca? I think the Mastix is Rebecca, but correct me if I'm wrong there, sorry. All right, put this on. Do I have any more of these seed beads? No. Okay, good, I'm glad. And then I'll just do one more after this one. I love that everybody's so happy. That makes me so happy. The image on the, oh, it actually is the pendant. It was just the pendant underneath the ruler. Okay, and then I have one more. I'll do an orange or red one, I think. I'll go with this guy. All right, our bracelet is finished. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Rebecca. So she said, I appreciate the gifts you add to our orders. I try and get everybody, and if I'm sorry if there's not an extra in your order when you get it, it's because I blanked on it, but try and put an extra something. I never know what it is going to be in everybody's order. Sometimes people get a couple somethings too. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so let's take off this one. I am going to put this on, not on camera because I get camera shy. When I'm trying to put bracelets on, for some reason, I always like can't do it if I'm live. So you're not going to see anything in the screen while I'm trying to get this bracelet on. And it's not because I'm like, the bracelet doesn't fit. It's just because trying to do it on camera is like the worst thing ever. And I'm seriously having issues. Oh no. All right, we can do this. There we go. Yeah, it's a little big, but actually I really, really love it. Look at that. Sorry it's blurry, everybody. But isn't that fun? Super easy. It would have gone faster if I wasn't doing it on camera, right? But look at it with my other bracelets. And it looks like you're wearing like a whole stack of bracelets, right? But you're just wearing one. Thank you. You guys can do that with any beads. Any beads. Smaller, like these chevron beads would be great to do that with. Christmas beads, seed beads that have a big enough hole to go through 1 millimeter. Leather. Totally fun. Okay, now, what are we doing? We've already been here for an hour and a half, but I did say I wanted to make something with that bear. Now I gotta find the bear. Okay, here we go. Here's my bear. Also, the reason why it's chaotic in here, I just do this with the beads every single time. Oh, that's sweet. Lynn says she always puts a free bracelet in her Etsy orders. That's so cute. Okay, so we're going to do this little folk artsy Zuni bear. Even though this guy's black and these are brown, these are such dark brown that I think that would look good together. I'm trying to think what other beads would go with this. No. Maybe. No. Oh. I got out some check glass that I haven't put in my shop yet, but needs to go in. These are not going in my shop. This is actually my own check glass. Oh my God, Brittany. I'm a hot mess over here. These are my, like, isn't this cool? I don't know where I got these. I think I got these from, either got these in Tucson or I got them from Chelsea's a long time ago. Like, oh my gosh, isn't that cool? Got out some flowers that were the same color. Some crystals. These are in my shop. Oh, why is everybody saying congratulations? Oh, goodness. Congratulations, Cindy. Cindy has a lot of horses. Okay, so sorry, I'm not doing anything. I'm looking for these check glass beads that I literally pulled out and now can't find in that bucket. Oh, here they are. So when I was in Tucson, I bought a ton of check glass, okay? And I bought them with the thought I wanted to do some kits. The kits take a lot of time to make, so I might just sell some of the check glass beads. Like, is that too bad? Okay, I love these, but actually they don't go with that very well, so I'm not doing that. This guy's pretty cool. Ooh, I love it. These are check glass flowers, table cut, very bright red. With that green, that looks great. And the polka dots. I think this is just going to be a really chaotic. Hey, that works though, right? Chaotic works because that's what this class is about today. So put that in my little dish. And then I'll get these little black beads that I didn't get to use on my last project. Right? These are so pretty. And I want to use some of these. Yeah, this whole bracelet's got a lot going on. If the bears sell out, I will put more in because I have enough to make more. So keep checking. I'm going to send out an email later tonight with all the new stuff that's in the shop. So they will be restocked if they're sold out. How fun is this? Sorry, it's like the little, I think that's pretty cool. It's a little wild. Oh, I have some coral. Nice. Just had that sitting there. Just thinking, like, what else am I gonna... Okay, I've got a thought. I always do this with these bears. I always do the same thing with these bears, but it just shows you that I like a style and I'll stick with it. I'm gonna grab some jump rings. Oh, I need a stringing material. Soft flex. I'm going to try and find a black clasp, but I don't know that I have that. Let's look in my drawer here. Oh, okay. Of course I can. So the fun thing about these, I bought these somewhere between 2009 and 2013, and I still have them. Okay, so this is the clasp. Kelly says we're going to be heading over to Brittany and Lynn's stores as soon as this live ends. Well, message me if there's something you want and you see it sold out. A lot of the like animals I can't help you there because those, as I find them, I can get them in the shop. But like the polymer clay stuff, I can be persuaded to put more in. Sometimes I take them out because I don't like there's one shape today I took out. I was like, I don't ever want to make this shape again because it takes a lot of time and a lot of sanding. But this new guy, I'll be making for a while. All right, I'll get this guy in there. All right, so we've got our jump rings attached. What do I want to do here? Do I want to do strung or do I want to do wire wrapped? I do not want to do wire wrapped. I want it a little bit more chunky than wire wrapped. Okay, so welcome. Glad you're here. Okay, do I want that? I wish I had a red rondelle, like a little tiny red rondelle. Here's my check glass bead soup, but I don't know that I'm gonna, oh, what's that? What's that? That's cool. I like that. I like that. We're just using some random, guys, look, this is exactly what I wanted. In the exact color I wanted. Speak it and it happens. Speak it into existence. Here's more of these. That is so cool that happened. Oh my gosh, there's another one. I don't remember ever seeing these before in my life, so it's funny that they're in here. And honestly, I can't find where it went. Oh, I need it. There we go. That was so random and so amazing. That the right red, the right shape, oh my gosh, is in my bead soup that I never go into. I never, guys, it's probably been 5 months since I've gone into this bead soup, if that. And that might have happened when Cindy was here last and we had a bead soup party. All right, well, I know there's more in there. I don't know if I need them. Okay, red. I need a bead. I need a crimp tube or here we go. Here we go. It is meant to be because I did not know that any of these colors were going to be used today, right? And I was looking for that earlier. I was like, oh, I got to make sure I have my bead soup out. What? Why would I need to make sure that I have my bead soup out? I've never used the bead soup. All right, so I'm going to put on this like that. Nancy, I have like 15 different bead soups. And then, so that's the check glass bead soup. One of these. Carrie says, where'd you get your ring? So these are both from Tucson. I have a pendant in my shop that looks like this, but I don't think I have any other beads or rings at the moment. There's a heart ring in the shop, but there's not another wheel or little ring like that. And Tatum says, yes. Okay, I do need another one of these things. Sorry, I'm pouring beads out everywhere. Oh, there he is. Come on, come on. I cannot, like, I'm shocked. Like, who knew that I was going to need a red rondelle today, or a red disc? And I was just like, oh, make sure you have your bead soup next to you because you might need something. And I never use this bead soup. I just poured out another one, but I'm trying to find it. And I'm adding to the bead soup on the floor at the moment as well by pouring these out. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, there he is. It's in the bucket still. I'm wearing a skirt, and I'm pouring the beads into my skirt dress as I'm emptying them out so I can try and find this last rondelle. So I just saw him, but it keeps like repositioning to the bottom of the, there it is. Ooh, I have two more. You guys are probably sick of listening to me whine about beads. Okay, I had a bunch of these. I'm so pumped. Like, this was kismet. All right. Okay, I just spilled like 50 beads on the floor from my bead soup, but that's okay. They'll make it into some other bead soup at some point. Somebody said do a 4 bead soup video. Yeah, I'd probably make the best necklace on earth because there's probably $6 million worth of beads on the floor. Not really, but almost. Okay. Do this. And then my other crimp. And I'm going to crimp right onto this guy here. Who thought we were going to use bright coral red and citron and black and brown today? Not me. Nancy said she already ate supper and came back. That's so funny. All right. I love seeing this red soft flex next to this black. It's making me so happy. All right. We'll go and squish and turn. Squish. Squish. I don't know if I can get back through this bead. Aw, you're so sweet. I don't think I can. So I'm just going to trim that off right at the crimp. And I'll probably end up putting a crimp cover on because I hate the way cutting off at the crimp looks. That's why I usually put it down through a bead or two. Okay. So then that's just this side, right? Like, I know it's short, but I want it short. And you guys have probably seen me make this bracelet before because I know I've done it, and I don't know where like, just a different colorway, right? But I like asymmetrical bear bracelets, apparently. And then I'm going to come through my other bead crimp tube. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, it is kind of like, I call it citron. It's like a yellow green, right? Like a citrusy yellow green. It's just such a cool color, and I've seen it so much more. And I actually saw that it's starting to be a trend. After I did that release with Deb, I saw that citron color is going to be a trend in 2025. Can you call me a trendsetter, please? We saw this Jeep when we went out to lunch one day. And I was like, Deb, do you see the color of that Jeep? And she's like, I sure do. And I was like, let's make a collection that has that color. And that kind of was, that was it for us because we loved it so much. All right. And then I'm going to squish in here. 1 and 2 and 3. It's 80s neon green is what Sherry says. Chartreuse. Yeah, it's close to chartreuse. It's a little more yellow, I think. Thanks, Bridget. Kelly says one of my favorites, tend to pair it with cobalt. Oh, that, yeah, that is a cool color combo. Nikki, yes, I do make these. These are in the shop right now. I just put them in today. And like I said, if they're sold out, because I think I only put 10 in there, if they're sold out, I will be getting more in the shop. I just didn't know how many put in there. All right, so that's one side of the bracelet. The other side, let's crimp. Where's my wire? Okay, and I need a crimp. Yeah, Tatum asked, do you fold your crimps over after you squish? Yes, that's why I'm squishing twice or 3 times. So I'll show you in a minute. Come through. So they fold the first time. I'm not flat crimping it. So I'm putting it in. If you can, I know this is hard to see, but there's a dent there. So I'm putting that in to my crimping pliers and squish. So it's already got one fold in it. And then I'm turning it and I'm closing that fold up a little bit more. Aw, Bridget, I'm so glad you like the bears. And then I squish one more time at the end. Okay. So now I don't know what we're going to do on this side. I know I want some of these flowers. I know I want some of these. Let's go start with oops. I bet you were actually cool, Nancy. Trends change, but some people are, you know, cringe when they look back on their pictures. But I bet you if you looked at some of those pictures now, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was a cool outfit. I, on the other hand, was a child in the 90s and 2000s, and none of those trends need to come back. Please, God, none of those trends need to come back. All right, so I'm going to put a flower here. Let's trim this guy off. He's getting in my way. Did I put him on the wrong side? No. Okay. I'm going to do one of these and then one of these. And then I'm calling them dominoes, but they're not dominoes. I love this bracelet. It makes me happy. Another flower. I think I'm going to do 2 strands on this side. But also I think, oh, do I might have to check. I don't think I have one more of these, which is okay. I could just switch to these guys. All right, let's see how long this is. Certainly not long enough. I'm going to try it on my wrist real quick. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do, just making sure I didn't have another one of those red beads, but I don't. think I'm asking the bead universe for a little too much to find one more. But that's okay. I have a ton of these little coral beads. I don't know if that's actually, the holes in these coral beads might be too small, but maybe not. Nope. I need another one of these. Okay. Am I missing any combo here? Oh, Terry said she would pair it with purple. Yeah, that would be really fun. Terry, absolutely would pair it with purple because I did that on these pendants. This is an evil eye on a heart with purple wash. So I absolutely agree with purple. It looks great. And I think for those who don't know what the evil eye is, it's actually a protection symbol. It helps keep away evil. So the name might be a little intimidating, but it does good things. All right. So what I'm going to do here is put on a jump ring. Yes, we're going to put on a jump ring. Sorry, it sounded like I was asking you a question, but I was asking myself a question. I just had my black jump ring. Oh, here they are. Okay, so I'm going to grab a crimp, a jump ring, and come back down through my crimp, a little brass bead. Yeah, Terry, that's how I am with turquoise. Everything goes with turquoise. So Terry thinks everything goes. I feel like turquoise is a neutral. I'm pretty sure Terry probably thinks purple's a neutral, right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp this. And then I'm going to make a very similar second strand for this side. However, it's going to be a little different because I don't have two more of these guys. I just have one, and I don't want to use, I'm going to use that somehow, some other way. I was going to make little matching Zunies for charms for this bracelet bar, but I did not get them done. So eventually they might go in the shop if that was something you're looking for. All right, so we're gonna do one more strand. Where is my soft wax? Here it is. I get like blinded by how many beads are on the table, and then I can't find stuff. Okay. Crimp. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we were gonna make this banging bracelet today. This thing looks so cool. I love it so, so much. Just think about what you can use it with. The only thing in my shop right now that I'm using here are these beads, the polka dots, and the brass spacers, but you can pair in your own red beads. Kelly says she used to be OCD about symmetrical, but now she's not. I love that for you. I go back and forth. I used to only do asymmetrical, and then I get into periods where I can't think asymmetrically. So this is probably one of the first designs I've made that was truly asymmetrical in a while, but I truly, truly adore making asymmetrical pieces. Okay, cut that off. And then I'm just going to do it very similarly with my spacer. And instead of having the little saucers, I'm going to use these in place in one part and then these in place in the other. So you see how I use the saucers here? I'm going to use my little coral beads right there, then do one of these, and then use these guys next to the second one of these. So it's going to be a little, it's going to be similar but not the same. All right, put that on. that's exactly not what I wanted to do. I wanted to put a flower on first. Then another one of these. Then a coral. Maybe. Okay. Get that on there. And then we'll put on our little chiclet bead here. I do need one more coral. Yes, Rebecca asked, do the beads come pre-drilled? The bracelet bar does come pre-drilled with a hole here and a hole on the back side. These are bigger than the smaller earring. Let me see, I have the smaller bear somewhere, so I can show you the size. Or maybe I don't. I did. Maybe I just put them to the side. Now I don't know where it is. I had the little tiny bears somewhere. If I can find them before the live. Oh, here it is. I was going to say before the live ends, but this is what the earring size is, and this is the bracelet bar size. So it's quite a bit bigger than the earring size, but it's smaller than the pendant size. All right, so I need one more flower. I'm going to put on one of these little guys. Chiclet. Another one of these. And then my spacer. And then my crimp. Oh, goodness. I don't know if it's me or this crimp just does not want to get on this bracelet. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure that this is closed correctly. Okay, pull this down a little bit. I love how we see that red soft flex hanging out next to the black findings. That makes me so happy. All right, and then we're gonna put that in the crimping pliers and squish and turn. I fixed that jump ring and then now it's worse than when I started. Squish again, one more time. We'll trim. Fix the jump ring again, but also want to put it on my clasp. Okay. Now I need to check to see how long this is. My arm is just adding up bracelets. Oh, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna grab one other jump ring and attach that way instead of attaching both jump rings to my clasp. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Not my typical color palette, but oh my goodness. Okay, I can't say this is my favorite thing I made today because that necklace was obviously my favorite thing that I made today, but this is my second favorite thing. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right, let me take off one of the 7,000 bracelets that I'm wearing so I can actually show you what this bracelet looks like by myself. So we've got the bear on the top, but honestly, any part of this bracelet can hang out on the top of your wrist. Right? And then you can even do, oh, like what if I did like a little heart flower dangle there? That would be fun. This is so cool. You can do it stretchy, you can do whatever you want, but this is making me so happy. Let me see what you guys are saying. Bracelet's so cool. Not your typical, but it's really gorgeous. Goldie's a mini-me to my dog, Honey. Oh my goodness, I need to see pictures. And then y'all are having fun talking about the 80s and 90s. Kelly asked, have you ever had a crimp with one of those stoppers? So I'm guessing you're talking easy crimps. I have not had one fail on me, but that comes with a caveat that I haven't used them as much as I use regular crimps. So, well, we've been here for 2 hours. Oh, I love that for her, Nancy. She said she found a little girl that had 20 bracelets on each arm yesterday. That is so fun. Okay, I'm gonna switch back up to my face. You're gonna see my ceiling for just a minute. I didn't make a pair of earrings, but that's okay. We can save that for the next live. Oh, you can see I had this door open. It wasn't open when we started. All right, let's close that up. Let's see. You love it. I'm gonna go back and watch from the beginning. 2 hours of nothing but fun. Well, I love that. Thanks, Cindy. All right, here's the necklace. My desk says it was 2 hours of torture for the desk, not for me. Here's the necklace. Obviously, this is my favorite thing. I don't really want to take off my other necklaces because most of the time my stuff gets stuck in my hair and then we're just going to be a hot mess express. Obviously, I'll post pictures of this later. Oh my God. Okay, I got to figure out a way to take off these necklaces. Let's see. Oh, and then my ring gets stuck in my hair. You see that? Okay, so I took off the big one. Oh, Tona, we made a necklace using the stuff you asked me to make. So the funny thing about the necklace that I'm taking off, I was in Tucson. I really wanted to wear this necklace, and it was either too short or it just wasn't long enough for the outfit I was wearing. So I jerry-rigged a clasp situation because I didn't have like typical tools while I was in, oh my God, see, my hair gets stuck in my jewelry all the time. This is my nightmare. So I made this with copper like toggle, which I never make necklaces with toggles because I love adjustable necklaces, right? So when I was in Tucson, I added a chain to the jump ring, and then I added like it's all the wrong color. I added a clasp. So it's got like 2 clasps on this necklace. By the way, these are available in the shop. So these Chrysocolla hearts in the shop. Those would look great with some of the stuff I showed today. Actually, this bone strand, do you see how pretty that is with turquoise? Now we need to do a live with, I might go grab some hearts out of my shop for myself. I'm such a bad girl. I actually have some druzy hearts going in. I think there's one in there already. I have one more might go in there. No, it's not sterling silver. It's Tibetan silver, which I think is silver tone. It's not sterling. So here's the necklace. I get so sidetracked. So I'm talking about the things that are in the shop, but there's a bunch of those hearts. There might be different colors. I did put a druzy heart, purple druzy heart in there. I have one more that needs to go in. I have stuff that's just like check back. Like if you don't see something that you want right away, or you think, oh, she doesn't have everything that I want, keep checking back because I put stuff in like daily sometimes, and sometimes I don't tell people when I put stuff in there. So it's like a scavenger hunt. All right, so here's the necklace we made today. I've got my hair in the way. I'm hot mess. But I did wear a black dress today so we could see all the colors next to it. Look at her. Look at that. This is actually way better than I anticipated. I think this is 2025's favorite necklace so far. This is absolutely my favorite. And that's saying something because I've made this necklace this year, right? I made this necklace this year. Mind you, that is carved Kingman turquoise. I never want to take this off. I never want to take this off. I'm so happy with it. And it's actually the perfect length. This is without using the extender. I'm like dying. I'm so happy. All right. So then we made this cute Zuni Bear bracelet, which he is so fabulous. So fabulous. I think I'm going to have to make a matching pendant so everybody can have like a huge set. So I'm not going to promise that it's going to get in there anytime soon, but make sure you watch the channel, obviously, because I do put posts up. I put photos of things that I add to the shop when I add them sometimes. I also talk about it in my bead group, which is Brittany's Beads on Facebook. All these links are in the description of this live too. And then I also put it on my bead site, like not my bead site, but my Facebook page, which is Brittany Chavers Studio. The other thing is sign up for the emails that come from my shop. I don't send emails every day. Sometimes I might send 2 in a week, but then sometimes I might go weeks for not sending them. So sign up. You're going to find out when I add new stuff. So when I add the companions to this guy, because I think we're going to have to do that, I'll probably make some earring charms, and I'll probably make a big Zuni. I usually wire wrap the Zunis, but wire has been really hard to get consistent sizes and the colors that I want lately because I use vintage wire and they're changing around. They've been out of stock of the 22 gauge I use for wire wrapping Zunis. So all of that to say, just sign up for the newsletter so you can see when things come in. And I don't expect that you guys buy something every single time, but if you're waiting for new animals to come in, if you're waiting for Zunis to come in, if you're waiting for a certain color, sign up because I'm usually going to send out an email. And then here's our really pretty Christmas bead bracelet. And this is me laying on my arm the whole time. But they actually look really good together. This is going to go with anything because it's a bunch of colors, right? Aw, yeah, thanks, Cindy. I want to do more of those wire wrap Zunis because I actually really love doing them and I like figuring out like the new color combos. But I also fall into the trap of I just want turquoise, so I just make turquoise all the time. So, yeah, Kelly, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see by next weekend if I can get some of the pendants and the earrings into the shop, and it'll be this weird rainbow Scandinavian pattern. I don't even know why I went with that one because I usually like tribal, but I thought this one was really weird and different, and I usually don't go with black. My hands were like covered in black because I wash all the beads with black paint and then I have to clean off the paint, so I get a hot holy mess when I'm making beads. But you guys can't even really see, but there's the hot holy mess is right there on the floor. That just looks like a box or two, but it's a nightmare around here. Thanks so much for listening to me gab for 133 minutes. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys found something that you enjoyed watching while we were talking today. I'll be back on Sunday for live on JTV Extra. This replay will be available pretty soon, if not immediately after the show's over. And if you have any questions or anything, put in a comment in the chat. We're almost at 25,000 people. We're going to have the biggest celebration ever. I'm going to give away beads. I'm going to give away my maybe like some artisan beads, even maybe some limited edition ones. I don't know. But we're going to party it up right when we hit 25,000. So thank you. I appreciate you. I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, Sherry, I'll work on that. Okay, she said the banner usually covers up what I'm wearing on JTV Extra. I'll try and remember that and maybe stand up next time on JTV Extra. Okay, bye.